Market vitals, the levels you need to triage the market. HFR from the floor. Missed trade, still canceled. Starting today, Matt, in the Manja TV kitchen. I know I can't share yet because I never can, but if you let me share, I can share. Holy shit, it's a Festivus. It's a Festivus for the rest of us.
That's right.
I got it. She's listening in. Good afternoon, Lee. I always like to say good afternoon to Lee. Matt, from the Manja kitchen. I'm going to get back to this. All right. 3 pillars of great barbecue: rub, heat, and time. And I got a great hack for you to save time on ribs. If you're not competing, and you don't need the smoke ring, I got a great hack. But before that, Matt, this is a hot dog. All right. And this is how it's done.
That's a glizzy.
Listen, Glizzy eats too many hot dogs, obviously.
Glizzy is a term for a hot dog.
It is not a term for a hot dog. First of all, I want to point out a few things. The pickle spear, the sport peppers. I have one problem with this hot dog, though. One. And that you can tell by the tomatoes.
There's no chili and there's no mustard.
And I'm not drunk. It's not 2 a.m. in Detroit. We're going to speak about Detroit as a case model in a little bit. The tomatoes, though, they're not ripe. You can tell they're not ripe.
No, they were made in a
they're a hot house or something.
Greenhouse. Bad
greenhouse.
Yeah.
Please, if you have tomatoes, you have a windowsill in the house. Put the tomatoes on the windowsill till they're ripe. I don't know. Why is this a problem? Why is this
more importantly, below, I want to see Johnny Bench holding this.
Oh, yeah. Johnny Bench with the letter to prove it that he can do it, and then he does it. That's insane.
I can maybe do 4.
Matt, before we go to the Manja kitchen to talk ribs here, let me just show this full screen. This is me in my lumberjacking. Trading the market pre jobs is kind of like this.
Yeah, the random generated NFP number.
Look at this guy. Like a glove.
Oh my God. No way.
Yes. Look at him. He gets down. Thank you very little.
Guy's good.
Is that awesome?
Jeez.
Fantastic. All right. Hold on a second. Stop that. Stop it.
Hold on a second before you go on.
Yeah.
Before you go on. What is glizzy? Actually, there's a lot of variety when it comes to defining the modern slang. The primary meaning is a slang for hot dog. There you go.
Never heard of it.
Also refers to people who eat hot dogs in large amounts. Glizzy gladiator. So
Lizzie, no, Lizzo.
Lizzo. Lizzie.
Lizzo is a glizzo.
Glizzy.
I get it. Lizzie is a glizzy. I get it.
It started in DC and Alabama, which you don't spend much time in, so I get it.
It started where?
Alabama and Washington, DC.
Okay.
Started appearing, and again, my kids have been using my kids have glizzy hats.
That's stupid. That's all I gotta say. I'm at ribs. Quickly.
I know my glizzies.
You don't have 4 hours to go on the smoker. All right. So this is what you do. Sheet pan, right? Sheet pan. Put the ribs on the sheet pan. First of all, obviously, a just giant lathering with the Shrimp Mojo brown sugar 50/50. All right. Set the oven to 250. Little beer, apple cider vinegar, or some sort of moisture in that sheet pan. Cover it with tin foil. Put it in the oven for an hour and a half at 250. The ribs will cook all the way through. You'll get a little peel back from the bone. Then you take them out. Put them on a hot grill. Barbecue sauce of choice. By the way, we got a beta barbecue sauce in the Manja kitchen working. And you're done. You can have ribs on the table. Fantastic. Lip smacking in 2 hours. If you don't have 4 hours to smoke ribs, I'm not saying you shouldn't smoke ribs. For sure you should smoke ribs. Why wouldn't you? But if you don't have the time to do it, anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there. All right, man. Let's.
You better be bringing some over after the show because I'm hungry now.
Look at they're just they're so good this way too because they kind of poach in the oven.
Yep.
We're talking you poach them. They become poached ribs, and then you you throw the good lip smacking barbecue sauce on, forget about it, right? Forget about it. All right, man, we need to talk. We had non-farm payrolls today. They generated a number.
It's like the Magic 8 Ball.
Exactly. The market, all we did again was just recover the last month of the range that we've been in, correct?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we've been talking about it, 3,800, 3,900, and really 3,750, 3,950. So yeah, then almost to the T. I told you I had some bids in there into the NFP down to 3,750, and one of my bids was at 3,801. We got 3,802.
Thank you for the kick in the
That's
close.
I did buy some at 3,820. So again, you got to layer in. So
you know what, Matt, in particular in the age of micros, it is so much easier for somebody that's not trading a giant book to be able to do that.
Yeah.
With the micros. I mean, you can really manage your risk well.
Yeah, you can trade 50, which is like trading 5, right? And you can go 10, 10, 30 or 10, 20, 20, whatever your thing is. And you're not going to get as, the likelihood of us going below 3750 was low, in my opinion. Not
only that, I really think that the market is so bared up. I really think that we need to rally for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, but I actually think counter a little bit too, because everybody's so waiting for that rally that didn't come for Christmas either. Right. So still, and we didn't go down really either from this again, everybody knows 3,800 is where JP's got the puts. All right, well, that's been well telegraphed, so that doesn't mean shit anymore.
It is a full moon, by the way, Matt, and yeah, the idiot in the moon would say cyclically, you buy the full, sell the new. So that's what I'm telling you, 2 weeks. We're going to sell this new moon in January like nobody's business.
New moon day.
Exactly. All right, man, I got another thing to share. And as I share it, do you have one of the websites pulled up on the total market capitalization? We brought this up yesterday. Sometimes, even if I stand in the middle of the room, no one acknowledges me. We talked about this with side effects yesterday for the unspecified test protocol. But the other thing that you shared inside the network was underfunded pensions at $9 trillion. And when I read that number, I thought, how could it be 9 trillion? I mean, that's approaching the federal deficit. But these are actually pensions where people think they're going to get paid out. And a 9 trillion number just seems insane to me.
Yeah, I just wanted to show it by state too. And it's really, it's not necessarily all blue and red, either. You can see everybody's pretty much underfunded, with the exception of South Dakota, Wisconsin, and believe it or not, New York, they claim, and then Washington State, which are obviously both blue states. But Oregon's a big negative here at -7.8, and then there's Montana at 8.5, even worse than Oregon, and they're supposedly red. And then the Californicators are bad, Arizona's bad, New Mexico, they got problems. Of course, your home state's is the worst. Well, no, Lee's home state is worse. New Jersey's 20% underfunded.
New Jersey's got a nice cement factory though, so a lot of people can go away.
I mean, it's East Coast. They could just lop it off, and it would probably help the whole situation quite a bit just by chopping off the entire, really from the Mississippi over. Just get rid of it.
My question to you is,
we could give it back to the UK, since they have 260,000 people who identify as not what they were born as. That's also the latest news out of Bloomberg today.
Bloomberg always on top of it. Mm-hmm. All right, Matt, what happens if the market gets schmeezed? Is the 9 trillion become, because they have assets, right? They're just underfunded. They don't have assets for the actuarial payout.
Listen, again, this is what I've been talking about this. I'm exhausted, because the whole game here is to prevent it from not happening, right? I mean, that is what they're trying to do here. So this whole racket is continuing on and on and on. And that the central digital banking currency is another ploy and a play within that ploy to help eliminate these pensions that will never be paid. And the poor
Well,
saps.
so hey, back to the Detroit and the disgusting hot dog.
Yes.
I mean, they had a pension, they had, and they just, nobody got paid.
Well, I think, it might have been five, anywhere from 0 to 20 cents on the dollar, depending on, who you knew.
Right on.
Yeah. So those were wiped away. And, and so that's really going to encourage people to move back into the city, because now you got no services, no money, and no chance of ever getting anything from the city. Like, why would you move back there?
Right
What do you
on.
get? How are you going to rebuild?
All right, man, we got to talk some prices here. It's so boring with this just range boundness that we've been in. I saw a tweet today that said if you're not day trading and a good day trader, and even a good trade trader can struggle in these markets. It's very difficult. Now we're going to play jumble today. You shared in the network, not Tesla, but a perfect jumble of their acronym, their trading acronym.
Right.
And when you did it, I immediately, I love relative value plays. Like, I love saying, wow, this thing seems overvalued. How is it that valuable compared to something else? Yada, yada, yada. So the call letter is TSLA. No, that's Tesla. It's STLA. It's STLA.
Yeah.
Stella. It is Stellantis.
Yeah, which is basically, some of the valuable Chrysler assets like Jeep and those, those, and then you got Renault, all the shitty European, there's a few probably, Fiat's probably.
If I'm sitting at Renault or Fiat and you say shitty little, I'm immediately offended. I mean,
all I'm saying is it's not Audi, BMW, or Mercedes.
Got it. But the amazing thing to me,
or Volkswagen, or Volvo.
This chart looks
it's everything
different.
else. It's everything else with. What is everything else below that?
Matt, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
They pay a dividend, unlike.
They do.
What do they pay?
They pay 7.25 right now. Last dividend payment was $1. Stock's trading $14. So yeah, and they, next dividend just is coming up here on March 1st. Yeah. If you want to own an auto company, this is the one to own. At least it pays you.
And that chart looks completely different. We're gonna go to Tesla here.
Well, we just.
I know we have, but I just want to look at it. When you look at the chart, top heavy or bottom, I don't know.
Well, what's interesting
to me, this looks very bullish.
Well, but what's interesting is the COVID low. This is a very long-term 10-year plus chart, 12-year chart. COVID low was 560. So again, you want me to fractal in now, since you're looking like you're not a 10-year trader, right?
No.
Let's maybe look at a couple years. Now it's not so bullish.
Well, it's pretty much in value.
It's in value, but it's not bullish. That's all I'm saying. To me,
what's the low end of that? Yeah, what's the low end of the
I'd prefer to sell this and he rallies up into here.
Got it.
I just don't see it. Again, I think it's seen its best days post-COVID, which was, again, January of 22, like everything else. So nothing's different here, except for it's not going to have a Tesla-like parabolic action. And this is 48 billion in market cap. I think is what I recalled that was. By the way, Tesla is up $1 today after going to a new low pre-market. It traded down to 101s. Did not get.
Could not sniff it out. Could not sniff out that.
I thought today would be the day, but we couldn't do it. We got down to like 101, 101.81. So close enough for government work for me, but whatever. I think this thing's going to rally soon. You can probably buy some June. You can probably buy some June 80 calls. This morning, you could have picked them up for, I was looking like $35, $36. That's pretty good. You're paying 116 basically, and it's trading 111 already. And that was this morning at 103, 104. So as a matter of fact, let's see what those are looking at, because I picked up a few of those myself. And again, I was looking at the June monthlies. Yeah, they're up to 39 already, and 40 bid actually right now. on the June 80 calls. So they got down as low as 33. I picked some up at 35 and they're trading 39. Already up 10% today just on a
Sold.
$1 move.
Sold. Get out of it.
I mean, it's really $10 because it was 101 this morning, but you know, again, the move today has been straight up so again, everybody's happy. This magic 8-ball jobs number has been market's pretty happy. I mean, again, this bottom at 6 o'clock post jobs 101 and straight up here to 113. Again, if you're not trading intraday, that's really the only trade there. So unless you want to hold it for a longer period, and again, I think that longer period looks fine. I think this could double. I think it could have that type of bounce, and we've talked about it. It's so oversold now, and it's so overvalued. I don't disagree with that, but I don't see why we couldn't bounce. You know, if the rest of the market starts kind of recovering, this is more than a car company.
Hey Matt, what is the dividend that Tesla's paying?
Well, we know what it is. Negative, 0.
Stugotz. I think just when we keep talking about this, I think when we're in a zero interest rate environment, stock companies now have to compete with the value of money that people earn in other places, other companies. I mean, the fact that Facebook still doesn't pay, I'm like, how is that even possible?
You know, what I wanted to talk a little bit, because we haven't talked about it enough or recently, is the dollar has had a big rally today. And strangely enough, since I told you that, you know, this morning, then it got hammered. So,
well,
no, hold on. Hold on. Was I looking at the wrong? Yeah, I was looking at the wrong.
Lee with the from the booth, McCarthy loses his 12th vote.
Why is this even a thing anymore? Why?
I mean, seriously, the Irish got real problems.
I mean,
and I know this because I'm an Irishman.
Right.
The stubbornness is unbelievable. I mean, can't you take a hint, dude? I don't think they're backing down. I think, and I don't know how the resolution happens.
Well, here's what the dollar's doing since the NFP. By the way, I did want to show this. It was rising, right? We were rising, and then wham. So this is quite a crush, but again, not really, you know, not trading any new ranges here. So as you pull back again, you can see we got down here to 102.84. So I don't know what to make of any of this. This to me still looks like a bullish area in here.
Well, I mean, the profile couldn't be more crystal clear. Am I clear? Crystal.
Yep. And I think this is, you know, it's putting in the more time we spend in here, the better. And this has been almost a month now, holding that, you know, 100 level. So that continues.
And let's play the devil's advocate here. That is a giant value range.
It is.
And if we do, what's the high of that?
110.
All right. So if we take out these 102 levels, 101, we could go to 90.
Yeah.
Just playing the ping pong of how wide
if that were to happen, we'd have a huge equity rally too. So huge.
Yeah. Mark just said they're playing "I Won't Back Down" in the halls of justice right now.
I mean, whoever gets in, nothing's going to happen anyways. Like, who cares? I mean, I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of these politicians who I don't care about. I don't care.
I couldn't agree more. And
congratulations.
In fact, the fact that it's part of our you know, the majority of our conversations now 24/7, 365 days a year, when it used to be a couple of months.
Minutes. Yeah.
A couple of months every 4 years that you'd actually give a shit about it.
Right.
And now it's beyond brutal. I'd rather talk ribs, Matt.
Yeah. I mean, is little Johnny really sitting around going, I want to be one. I want to be Kevin McCarthy when I grow up. No.
All I want is a good, solid Kennedy Democrat out there. Show me that.
All I have to say is happy birthday to Lenny Kravitz. Are you going to go my way? Speaking of all this baloney, and because he's my hero. I mean, look at the guy.
He's fantastic, dude, and a great studio at home. Matt, I want to give a little shout out to our Buffalo Bills player that somehow made it through, man. And that dude is built different.
He is built different.
And I got to tell you, the amount of prayer that went out.
Prayer is powerful.
I'm just telling you, maybe that's the elephant in the room that they want to keep.
That's the story. That is the story of all this. Prayer, by the way, that is the story.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement.
100%.
And by the way, that's not a great trading methodology. Prayer.
No.
To be clear, to be crystal clear. All right. What else do you got?
We got football this weekend. Let's talk a little NFL because it's the junk season, last game of the year, right? Chiefs and Raiders. You got the Raiders quarterback benched. You got two heavy favorites, but again, are they playing their guys? This is the tough thing about these lines. There's two -14, the Eagles over, of course, the hapless Giants. I think even without their quarterback, they should cover that. It's at home. So Eagles -14 are currently. And then the 49ers also right about -14 over the hapless Cardinals at home. Both those games at home. Brock Purdy needs the practice, so he'll be playing. I like, I'd take the 49ers and the Eagles. Why not? -14. End the season with a bang.
And that's our model. That's the model that we use.
That's
hey man, I just saw this. I don't know if you know.
And by all means, Aaron Rodgers, make the playoffs. If you're going to beat the Lions, at least make the playoffs.
Come on, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Man, I don't know if you know, but Nancy Pelosi is a fantastic craps player, and they couldn't understand it. And then this development came out. Somehow her olives just jump out of their glass, take the skewer out, Matt, and they roll her to 7. Nancy Pelosi, craps player. Unreal. Unreal. That was it's breaking news.
Breaking news.
Anyway, you ever play at craps with Nancy Pelosi? She's on fire.
She can't miss. She's so good. So good.
All right, that's what we got. I don't know what else to say. It's the weekend, and it's the first weekend. That's the first Friday. So Happy New Year, and please join us. If you got nothing else, man, I'm going to wrap it up. It's a kind of a short one today, but that's sometimes how we roll. That's how we roll. If you have any questions about market profile, Miss Trade here is the best market profile trader I have ever come across, and I've come across a few. In fact, I sat in Pete Stottlemyre's office more than a few times and talked markets and profile. It was very interesting, Matt, because as markets became more electronic, and I thought about this today.
Yeah,
there was a time there where he was like the pit and the profile worked because the pit actually gave time to the price discovery process. In fact, I thought about today, if you tried to verbalize the market activity coming into that number, and a human being couldn't do it. You could not say 20 bit, 30 bit, 40 bit, 50 bit, 60. You couldn't.
You mean after the number hit?
Yeah, the electronic market moves so fast. It can move at light speed. And a profile really is price over time. And so it's better now because there's so much interaction with electronic algos and interfaces. But that was the function really of the pit, not just for price discovery. The function it gave was the human element that it took time to execute an order. And time was needed because if you had a big order to buy, you could actually tell people, hey, pick up the phone and start calling people, man. I got to buy 500 of these things. And people would, and it wasn't just at the market. It was a guy sitting there waiting for somebody to show up with some price discovery.
I got some price discovery for you. We've been talking about the bonds, and they're getting near where I'd like to start selling them, which is right around 141. We're at 139 right now. And again, I just drew a simple fib. We held this key area here for the last 2 months, right on the pullback. They're at 133. And now we're all the way, we traded as high as 140 today and 140.12 or so. And this, so really right where we are, 139.20 is the 50% retrace, and then the 61.8 is up here at 41. And I like these levels. I just don't see us going too much. I don't see us getting back into this meat here based on
especially the first
based
time
on the jobs numbers. They're great, right? So we're not cutting rates. So why are the bonds going up? Well, because they're screwing people right now is what's happening. Everybody's short, and they're short too early. So let's take it up a little bit further, squeeze them, get some more pain going. But I think ultimately this fizzles out 141, 142 area, it looks like to me.
Right
So,
on. Right. And that's the UB, to be clear. The UB.
That is the UB. If you want to take a look at the ZB just for shits and giggles. Because again, I think these are common themes. And again, if the dollar is crushed like this, that's why these things are going up. So just keep this in mind. So when the dollar reverses again, this is going to be done. And here's the ZB 132.5 down to 124.5. And it's already there. It hit that number today. As a matter of fact, I did sell a little bit at 129.5. So again, I think we're kind of getting there already in the bonds. So be aware that this might be the blow off before the reversal. And this is what happens often is you'll see the counter move come before the move that's actually going to come.
Right on.
Which is strange for people to understand, but that's what happens. You got to take out all the, everybody that was short this morning now is getting taken out, and then you're not going to have any longs left. There's no, like, the synthetic longs are the only thing propping up the market, and the bonds. It's probably the only thing propping it up much in the SPOOs and the NASDAQ. So you had these great numbers, and the numbers aren't that great, right? When you really look at the jobs numbers, since Biden took office, all we've done is go down in jobs. Like, it's a very clear two-year plus chart now from January 21 to where we are today. So this job situation is not rosy, and wages aren't increasing. So we have stagflation, right? We have falling wages and we have rising prices. That's the worst. That's worse than a recession.
Yeah.
Because it goes on and on. Think about,
I think
Argentina, like where my son is right now. I mean, that, he's like buying 40-cent beers with the US dollar today. But at some point, it's going to be like that, here, where, the Chinese yuan or the Russian ruble, they're going to come here.
He said it, folks.
They're going to come here for vacations.
The dollar's so cheap. Oh, the ruble. Let's check in. The ruble. Ruble's looking okay. I don't know. All right, man. I just had a brain cramp. Help me out, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Your only hope. That's what we got. Matt, have a great weekend. Lee, Mark, have a great weekend. Please
Beans
join us
up 26 today, corn up 3, and wheat up a couple cents. But beans had a big move today, by the way. What's the word there?
It's probably the same as it ever was. The Chinese said they were going to buy a bunch, and so we rally it, and then they don't.
They don't ever buy any.
Then they cancel, the contract. That's as crooked a game as there is. All right. That's what we got. Please join us on marketfunnels.io. Please go to Amazon.com and buy some Shrimp Mojo. And we'll be back at it on a Monday, on the first full trading week of the year.
And then we have another short week.
Yeah. Well, if we're in France, there's a short week every week, isn't it?
Well, I think they just have 2-day weeks and 5-day weeks. Spain, France, Argentina.
Honestly, I think that they're thinking about it right. We're the ones that got it backwards.
Right. I mean, they get free money from the government, and they get siesta every day. Why not?
Siestas. Matt, before we go, I want to share one thing here. Let me share one thing. Let me get it correct. Man, these charts are giant I got a new monitor that is absolutely giant.
Helps your old eyes.
It does help my old eyes. Holy shit, I gotta get the font right. Fontanella, the best cheese out there. Fontanella. All right. I got a monthly here, and I wanted to just point this out. And this is the Dow Jones. We don't cover the Dow Jones very often, but it's a du jour, right? So, and I just want to point out this monthly and this momentum level that is kicked lower. It's the up momentum level, but we've changed the trajectory of it. It's downward sloping now. 34,152, let's call it 34,152. I can just see us drifting up and testing this monthly level. And it's interesting here when I cycle through these. So the Dow is still toying with its up momentum level on the monthly. Let me say that again. The Dow is still toying with its up momentum level on the monthly. And then when you roll through these, the Russell, it's toying around its lower momentum level, completely underperforming versus same thing with the NASI. The NASI still is in lower momentum on the monthly, and that monthly level is, and I know you're going to have a similar level, 11,340, we'll call it. 11,340, testing the momentum level on the monthly. And then the SPOOs, again, like the Russell, just toying around with this lower momentum level. It's got room all the way up to 4,080 just to test the monthly average. I will say this, that on the monthly, we've rolled the trajectory over on all of them. So I could see us rally here the first couple of weeks of these and check these different levels out in these different equity complexes. And then it's going to be, the argument will ensue at those level areas. And I'm sure long-term you have similar areas on the profile. But I just wanted to point that out. The nuance of trajectory of standard deviation lines and momentum modeling, very key. And even though we're rallying here, that we're nowhere near rallying enough to change the slope of these lines long term. My thought.
And I was thinking about as we're doing this, using this technology called Zoom again, that Xi has handed us, along with TikTok. And we talked so much about the COVID lows, and I just wanted to point out again, because I know we've talked about it, but the COVID low for Zoom was right around 107. And it went to 600, Bob, and it's back to 63 was low. Today it's up 5.5%. If you don't think you can go to the COVID lows and so many of these names, I don't understand how you can't see that coming. I mean, we started with the pension talk and the underfundedness of pension liabilities. These companies are no different. They're underfunded. There's no business out there that's going to make them ever go back to see prices that we saw because of the pumping of trillions of dollars of inflationary debt. That doesn't just go away.
No, it doesn't. It does not just.
This is the thing. I mean, if you can understand, like, if you can vote differently just based upon understanding that inflation is not created by business ever, unless it's the government business, which is AKA monkey business.
Yeah, it almost appears that is the government's business.
Yes. Monkey.
Ayn Rand said it. We had it early in the week. The Ayn Rand quote. All right, that's it. I love how I try to end the broadcast early every day. And I apologize. It's like I'm in the pit. It's like, let's go. We're gonna go to lunch. No, but I gotta go now. I'm going now. My stomach is eating my spine right now, and I need to go eat something.
Right.
Oh my word.
By the way, natural gas. But by the way, natural gas.
Oh, great! Wow. How about Miss Straight's calling the natural gas? You didn't quite get there. You got to 352. You said.
Well, I said a close below 350 makes you wrong.
Correct. And you wanted to buy all the way down to 350. And I know, as you trade, that you sparse out your bids to cover an area. Again, and there are micros in Natty.
Yes, you can trade the QG versus the NG, and you can trade it, and it's pretty thick. I mean, what is it traded today? How many contracts? Yeah, 12,000. I mean, that's good.
Hey, Matt, I wanted to point out too.
For small traders, that you're not going to be trading more than 10, 20 anyways, right? Those are full positions. That's full positions if you're a little guy. And
Matt,
I'm just looking at the February, the big contracts have traded 69,000. So there you go.
speaking of being able to predict the future, this DEES 23, DEES 24 Eurodollar spread back out to 137, looking like it wants to go at least test the all-time low in it, which is 141. But just think about that. That right now the market thinks the Fed will ease by 1.5 points between DEES 23 and DEES 24. Like, exactly. Nobody else got to experience the beautiful look on your face, but I'm just pointing that out because there's that much uncertainty. Like, how do you know that by 23 to 24 we're gonna be in easing cycle? What if it's like some of the other inflation things where they're gonna have to raise rates through 25? Like the market has no idea, and nobody does. And don't, and that's why I have a real problem with all of the fundamental charmers out there that are going to tell us how things are going to pan out.
Right.
I got to tell you that.
Yeah, they didn't tell you the top was coming in January of 22, like we did.
Bingo.
So.
All right, that is it, Matt. That is it. Final word. Thank you very much. Join us.
I think this first 2 quarters is a trader's market. I don't think you can be heavily long or short.
I agree. I couldn't agree
I'm
more.
gonna continue to say that. Like macro wise, I don't have like these big. I don't have any like natural gas is gonna come up this year. I don't have any things like that I can really feel like strongly about. Even the dollar, like I don't feel like it's gonna necessarily make new highs yet. And I don't feel like it's going to break yet. And that's kind of where this market is in a lot of different situations. So I don't know. Kevin McCarthy, what's this? He lost another one, a 12th one, 12th ballot.
Yeah, Matt, I had that on there. Mark shared that 20 minutes ago in the broadcast live.
I'm not following it. We talked about it.
That's it. That's it. All right, no more Irish. Matt, do you know that was a New York Times headline? No more Irish. No more Irish on the immigration front. Like, don't tell me that this country hasn't had opinions about immigration before. New York Times headline, no more Irish. Anyway, that's what we got. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Lee. See ya.